people are going to be using their cav this time around. So the battle is started here. So here in the south side of the minimap, we have Macedon here. Looks like he's perching up just a little bit. And here in the north side, we have Subi, who did bring a lot of missile units, but different kinds of missiles, so that's perfectly acceptable. So Macedon did bring a bunch of Royal Peltas, 3 Foot Companions, 3 Aspis Cav, as well as the Ballista, which did deploy within the range. Looks like the other Ballista out of Subi might have been just off to the side. I don't know if this can hit. I think he barely made it off to the side. Although this one sounded like it shot or reloaded. So possibly now, yeah, they did shoot once, but now it's out of range. So Macedon is going to go ahead and move himself into his own ballista cover here on the right, while Subi, noticing this, is going to go ahead and just push straight across and fight on this side of the map so that the ballista does not shoot him. And then we're just going to have 2 empty ballistas sitting on both sides of the field. Ballistas here striking early targets on these longbow hunters. Longbow hunters cost only about 300, but these ballistas cost 700, I believe. So it's not bad shooting just anything with these ballistas since they are fixed. So Subi's going to go ahead and try to move out of the way quickly and not get hit. I think he did switch targets onto these Spear Brothers. That's even a better target. The best target would be these Noble Riders. So it looks like Count is going to go ahead and move an early aggression here on the right side, sending forward his cav. The Aspis cav here of Macedon, or Bastard, is moving to counter that. But those units just went invisible because of the slight decline here of this hill. So pretty good positioning here out of both teams. Just noticing that they did bring ballistas, and they're just going to go ahead and move their armies away from both ballistas. And looks like they might even engage here on this back side, which might bring the ballista of Count back into play. But we'll see how it turns out. So Macedon is going to reposition to try to stop this army, and really good movement here out of Count, I must say. You don't often see full armies moving across, but then again, you don't often see people bringing ballistas here in 1v1, 1v1s, which is why I definitely like bringing that sort of gameplay style to this game. These Noble Riders definitely pushing up to make sure that they can spot their opponents and move in generally quickly. Subi did bring a lot of missiles, so he knows he's going to have to kite for a while. But surprisingly, Macedon brought majority of Peltasts. Peltasts are really good units, and that may have thrown Subi off only because the Peltasts you know, are a little bit faster than the pikes, you know, obviously because the pikes have to move in their tight formation. So the longbow hunters and the slingers might get caught by the army of Macedon if possible, but Subi is going to go ahead and make sure that his cav is constantly paying attention, and he goes heads and takes care of that, because the cav advantage is even, except for the only problem is one cav is the general unit for Macedon. Now the general, it does count as one of the max units. So if you do bring your general as, for instance, a Peltas, you can only bring 3 more. So they're gonna go ahead and do that. So it looks like the cav are gonna move forward. But the only thing is, since the general unit isn't here for Macedon, he has 1 less cav in this fight, which allows Count to go ahead and get a really good surround if he wanted to in this cav fight. So both armies just facing off now, inching closer and closer together, doing it Shogun style, where you literally would walk to your opponent. Oh, looks like we have a ballista shot here going in. Hits way early. And looks like these javelin throwers are moving up, and it looks like Count is going to try to make an early aggression here. The charge here activating their abilities now. All of the Aspis Cav are bunched up, but then he does separate it at the last second, allowing for a better engage, but these Noble Riders are going to get a really good front here. Woodland Spears are going to hold against the Royal Peltas. All the Royal Peltas grouping up against one Windaz Spears unit, which I don't think is a good idea. Peltas need to move a little further back. The General unit now moving up to engage that far back unit. The cav fight here going really well in favor of Subi, because now he's able to bring a Spear unit here to try to kill the rest of the cavalry. These Foot Companions need to march much faster to engage here. this big Royal Peltas ball, I think, is going to be very ineffective against these units because they will take him out, but he's tiring a lot of his units. A general unit here going around to try to get flank hits into the backs of these longbow hunters, which is very good because these longbow hunters are tearing through the line of Macedon, and he might be able to get that there, but these Spear Brothers are going to go ahead and thwart those away. Spears now being brought into this giant cav fight here from Macedon, so now Subi and Macedon both have a spear unit engaged, and I think Macedon has a little bit better engagement here with this spear because of the surface area. This spear over here is kind of stuck. I'm not sure why. Maybe he forgot to click an attack order. A couple of these units also sitting pretty here. These units getting shot up by the missiles, and big engage here now. The Royal Peltas here all stuck into this fight, and he's trying to move his way out. These Royal Peltas are definitely deadly, and being bunched up, he needs to focus all of his missiles here and shoot this. He needs to turn all of his longbow hunters, turn flaming mode on, and shoot this giant pile of Peltas, because right now it's just a chicken shoot here in the middle. All these units now moving all over the place, engaging. Spear Brothers taking the front of these foot companions. Bad idea there. Those units are going to get hurt. The general unit did lose some units, but he was able to pull it out. Will he go into these longbow hunters? He can just run it through if he wants to, and that's exactly what he does. Killing tons of units on this charge, and he needs to just drag them through here before they get caught by the spears. The Royal Peltas here are still getting shot up, not moving anywhere. More woodless spears moving in to try to engage. And this Royal Peltas is really going to be the key fight right here. A lot of these units are routing now. The Aspis Cav, I don't know how much longer they're going to last. Let's see. The Noble Riders, they're relatively even, but with the extra fire here by Subi, he might be able to pull it off. But see, this spear engage here was able to kill all the noble horses that were left over. And it's definitely giving the advantage here now back to back to Macedon. Noble Rider charge here, giving a good attack into the sides of this unit. Their Aspis Cav might start routing here pretty soon. But this is the key right here. This ball of Peltas is fighting so many units. He has 4 Peltas here, all grouped up, fighting 1, 2 Berserkers and Witness Spears. I think he needs to pull one of these away and engage the rest of the army. So back over here, this is where most of the maneuvering is happening. The Aspis Companion Cav did win against the Noble Horses because of all the support. There's only 2 Noble Riders left. These units here did engage the foot companions from the front, so they're going to take lots of casualties. And this general unit is running around chasing chasing missile units, now trying to come back to engage in the fight. All of Subi's units here in this ball fight ended up routing, and now he's able to pull through with the leftover cavalry that he got from that engagement. Longbow hunters moving up. What are they trying to engage? Probably the slingers. But all of these Peltas got completely engaged here by a charge by German youths? Really? By little spear units. Charge in the back, see activating whips, trying to keep them alive. And if they can stand here a little bit longer, they'll be okay because they'll tear through these German youths in no time at all. But now the third one is wavering. If these all rout, it's not looking good for Macedon. But his German youths are starting to get low. Berserkers here are wavering now. And they did open up their escape avenue, so they're going to go ahead and settle and not break. That's unfortunate for for Subi. Let's see if he's able to catch this Aspis Cav. He does barely, but it still gets the charge on the longbow hunters. He needs to keep those alive as long as possible. The general unit here engaging the leftover foot companions, not able to survive long enough in order to take them out. But Subi did rout all these Peltas. That's because the Peltas were so grouped up there at that point that there was just little that they could do to break out. And these Spear Brothers now moving in, trying to kill this Aspis Cav unit, because if they can kill that unit, then the maneuverability will be even. But he's sending this unit in a little too recklessly. That unit's going to go ahead and go down. More Spears here trying to engage this front line. We have foot companions and 2 foot companions and Thora's Spear. As long as it's 1 Aspis Cav. He really needs to take care of that Cav. If he can, then he'll have a pretty good shot at this game. This Cav really is going to be sort of a key factor here, because if he can get a good back charge into these units, he's going to go ahead and break them relatively quickly. So it looks like he's actually just going to engage now into this front line. The foot companions aren't even in pike mode. He just sends them in guerrilla style. They don't care. They don't need pikes. The German ballista is now shooting. Oh, probably these retreating units over here, trying to work up their kill. And he needs to turn here. He needs to turn to engage this Aspis Cav, and hopefully not take too many casualties from the foot companions, because this charge is going to hurt. He needs to be ready for it. He does turn, engages, and hopefully he can take down those units in order to turn this back. But Mastodon doing a great job at holding these units. Now, if these foot companions were in Pike, I would say it's definitely his game. But it looks like he's going to take it anyway with that charge. It is going to rout that unit, but there's no way the foot companions are going to lose to 7 berserkers coming down to the last 2 units, literally, plus this extra mercenary slinger, which actually got 86 kills, a slinger unit. That is pretty well done. Looks like we got GG from Count Ulrich, and this last unit from Count is gonna try to fight to its last man, but there's no way that they're gonna move around. Foot companions maneuvering to try to go ahead and take out the rest of these units. And very well game. GG from both of these players. And looks like Bastard is gonna be up 1-0 over his opponent Count. And Count will host the next match and pick the next map. So let's see if he decides to pick a more advantaged map. This unit holding on. I don't know how this unit is not dead. Maybe he didn't click an attack order. It's so funny. How is this unit not routed? Out of control? Oh, Berserker is out of control. That is funny. There needs to be a slay button like for elephants. Okay, that unit just goes down. After killing a unit, taking it with it? Okay. Oh, it's because of the this ballista is the reason why. So he needs to. One of them needs to concede. Just go ahead and tell him to concede. Oh, actually, well, technically, he still has a unit. So I mean, I don't know if he can rout him with this ballista. I guess he's technically still in the lead. But okay, he goes ahead and concedes. He doesn't even want to go down to that fight because Mastodon could just walk around and take it out. So very well played here out of these guys. Count is down a game, so Count needs to win this next one. No. Just getting all that settled out. Again, if you're in the tournament and you're watching this, go ahead and check out the bracket and make sure you know when you're up. The next people are playing are Leontis the Brave and El Greco. So if you guys did hear that, get ready for your match. El Greco, or the host of that match is going to be Leonis the Brave. I'll see if he's on. Okay, just be ready for that. And whenever these players are ready, they are going to get started. So it looks like we do have a change. Bastard switching to Averni, and looks like Count here going for Rome. So they're both kind of switching their style up from going the barbaric group to now the uniform fighting machine. And it looks like he picked another relatively flat map, so he does just want to fight it out on open plane and prove that he's better than Bastard. Let's see if he can pull it off, though. Rome versus Averni. I mean, we know the Oath Swarm is really powerful, but you can only bring 4, so it might go ahead and negate their really effectiveness against Rome, because then you'll have to bring something else. We'll see how he pulls it off. Rome, I'm hoping to see maybe some elephants or dogs. I love those, but we're probably just gonna see the fixed ballista. It seems to be what's favoring here. which is it's a good idea. We're probably gonna see a lot of Scorpions and fixed ballistas only because they're relatively cheap, and you can kind of just forget about it and still be okay. So there's nothing to worry about there. But so far, those first armies were really, really diverse. You know, good amount of missiles, good amount of foot, and then having a max of 4 cav, I think, is definitely a little bit more balancing. So we don't see tons and tons of cavalry battles early on, which are cool to see. But it's a little bit of change up. You know, every week we will change up the rules and try to spice things up for you guys. So, you know, again, if you guys do have any ideas, it would be cool. Is this stream good for everyone? Is there any problems with the stream? I have some people telling me they're getting some video issues. If there is, just go ahead and let me know. I'll check it out. Alright. So if a few of you guys start having problems, I can always start and stop the stream. I know that does fix it for the most part whenever I've had problems before. And if it does, just let me know. If not, then thanks for stopping by and checking it out. It looks like the battle here is going to be underway. Verney and Rome. Count is Rome. So Count is going to be our the guy we're going to be cheering for here because I love seeing a third match. But if not, then, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully we can get into a third match. I'd definitely like to see more battles. But I am definitely on both sides of these guys, and I want both of them to succeed. But I'm always interested in more battles. So Verney versus Rome. If I had to make a prediction with the rule set, I would have to say... actually, I didn't see the armies. When we see the armies, we'll go ahead and make our prediction. But we know that the noble horses are pretty strong. But the patch 3 did change things up a little bit. But I think that was just like hill stuff. So not too much of a big cav change. I know patch 4 is a little bit more into that in depth. So yeah, so this map, again, flats. They're just going to use their micro on each other. Probably going to see an arty. But you don't have to bring an arty if you don't want to. You could always bring a just a special. You could just bring a dog unit or an elephant unit if you prefer. Getting insight that elephants are good for breaking through charges and giving your units the morale they need. So maybe we'll see it. Maybe not. I mean, elephant wouldn't be a bad idea, especially against Verney, because an elephant really could just tear through one unit relatively quickly. But look at the power balance bar. Rome brought a lot of units. If yellow is a Verney, look at Rome. Rome's like at least 20% in advantage towards him. So I'm actually curious to see what Rome brought. What did he bring? Maybe a bunch of gladiators. Maybe we're gonna see a gladiator army. I know that's kind of ridiculous right now, actually. Gladiators and dogs, the two OP units of Rome. Just waiting on both of these guys to ready up and start. This is important for Count to win this one, because he is down, so Count will be Rome. So look out for him and see how it goes. Okay, patch 4 is getting the charges more effective, what I'm getting from you guys. So this battle is off. Here we go. Here in the south side, we have a Verney here, played by Bastard. So he's looking to win this one because he is up 1-0. And here in the south side, we have Rome here, played by Count. And we do see elephants. And Count is down 1 game, so he needs to win this one. And these ballista shots going in there, these are Onager, Greek heavy Onager. Now these Onagers we've seen get tons and tons of kills in their game. I've seen up to actually like 1,200 kills with these onagers, and these shots are striking true. Already 56 kills in 2 volleys. Rome needs to respond to this very quickly. Dogs running 40 here to try to send on the rest of these units. But these onagers are going to be so devastating. Straight into the line, and with this column formation, his units are going to get decimated. This unit just gets hit so hard by 1. It's just a Triarii, not too bad. So it looks like we see a bunch of Praetorian guards and lots of missiles actually favoring the missile. That is very interesting to see out of a Rome faction. And balanced overall. Only 2 cav, though, while their opponent... Oh, he brought 2 auxiliary cav. Okay. They brought skirmish cav here, and they did take care of the dogs relatively quickly. Dogs can be negated very easily if you charge them, but if you don't kill all of the dogs, they're just going to run through this line like this and pick off your units. That's just how dogs work. You really have to make sure you kill every single one. Eventually, they'll all be taken out, but you can see the amount of damage that these dogs are causing to these units. So it looks like now Averni is going to try to send in all his units. Elephants charging into cavalry. Oh, that's so funny. Cavalry units are all going to be tied up by this one elephant unit. He needs to send his cavalry all the way around and into the backs of all these noble horses before the missiles take these units out. Missiles are very effective against elephants. Now the whole front line here engaging. All the winded spears. Averni just sending all his units forward to try to hold back this charge here out of Rome. Sending in everything he has, routing these units very quickly because there's only missile units there. And he's going to continue to send units forward. These elephants now are now out of control, but there's only 2 left. And once they break through here, these noble horses are going to have free reign. Rome needs to advance all these units forward to take out the onager, because this onager is already at 168 kills. It needs about 250 to break even. It might do that here pretty shortly in only a couple volleys. All of Averni's units here are now in the open. Oh no, these shots devastating this unit, already down to 80 units, but he brings them around for the charge. Now this Eagle cohort should probably go for this unit, but instead he opts to go for the leftover Oathsworn. These shots are point blank, shooting the Roman army. When have you ever seen this? Triarii units getting into the noble horses, but now breaking out and are going to charge into the backs of these units. Lots of cav charges going on. This cav charge right here into the backs of these spear units. Very well played there out of Rome. As Averni getting good charge into the backs. Rome breaking through on this right-hand side. He needs to take out this catapult. He's just watching it. He doesn't even want to go for it, but this catapult's getting like 50 kills per throw because they're so close. Look at the shots. Just right there, straight into the units. But he's trying to get flank shots to try to kill off all of these noble horses. These Oathsworn are taking out all of the Eagle cohorts very easily, but they're all a little too balled up. Whips here going off for all these units. Noble horses here are taking out the slingers. He needs to take out this catapult and then deal with those noble horses here pretty quickly. But Averni maybe too overextended here in the middle. Averni's units are routing. Rome's also doing the same, but Averni here is pretty engulfed. And they have units just sitting here. These Oathsworn need to get into the fight. Those units are very good. Triarii, as well as the general unit, pushing through. The dog units are still here, still alive, killing units. But he's trying to push these Triarii to take out this noble horse. The general unit did rout, though, which is not good for Rome. And he's going to send these units in. Averni's units now taking out all of Rome's units here in the middle. They're all routing, all the Praetorian Guard, and now more of them routing. And all of Rome's units are routing now, all of them. They're just not, they're all disappearing. And that's it. Averni with a big cleanup, big early rush, taking out all of Rome's initial aggression tactics with relative ease. Look at the amount of kills that Averni was able to pull off. That is insane. He countered that so well. Onager getting 228 kills